What happens when a strict, no-nonsense judge makes a snap judgment against the wrong person? This story will show you the power of truth and an unexpected twist in a courtroom. Judge Mayfield, known for her firm opinions, presided over what seemed like a minor case. Aaron Blake, a calm and confident federal prosecutor, was accused of damaging property worth $110,000 in an upscale neighborhood. The property owner, Mr. Carlson, claimed Aaron was reckless and didn't belong there. Convinced of his guilt, Judge Mayfield was ready to rule against him. However, Aaron produced official documents proving he had permission to be there for a Department of Justice investigation. Witnesses backed him up, confirming no damage was caused. The case took an unexpected turn when Mr. Carlson's testimony fell apart, revealing his claims were baseless. Judge Mayfield dismissed the charges, ordered an investigation into Mr. Carlson, and Aaron's dignity remained intact. Truth had prevailed. It was a brisk Monday morning, and the courtroom buzzed with quiet murmurs as spectators shuffled to their seats. Judge Mayfield, known for her sharp demeanor and firm rulings, sat at the bench, scanning her docket with a no-nonsense expression. Today's case seemed straightforward. Aaron Blake, a federal prosecutor, stood accused of damaging property in an upscale neighborhood. The complainant, Mr. Carlson, described Aaron as a reckless troublemaker. Judge Mayfield's gaze narrowed as she glanced at Aaron, already convinced he was guilty before the trial even began. To her, this was just another case of someone avoiding responsibility. Little did she know, the truth would soon take center stage and challenge her assumptions. As the trial began, Judge Mayfield wasted no time asserting her authority. She fixed Aaron Blake with a piercing glare and declared, "The evidence is clear. You're responsible for a $110,000 fine." Her tone was firm, leaving little room for argument. But Aaron, calm and composed, responded respectfully, "Your Honor, with all due respect, I was on the property as part of an official Department of Justice investigation." His words caused a ripple of murmurs among the spectators, but Judge Mayfield remained unconvinced. She demanded proof, and Aaron's attorney handed over official documents, signed approvals that authorized his presence. As the judge flipped through the papers, the tension in the courtroom grew palpable. For the first time, Judge Mayfield hesitated, her firm stance beginning to waver under the weight of the evidence before her. To bolster his case, Aaron called two witnesses to the stand. First was Lisa Bennett, a member of his team. Lisa confidently testified about their careful conduct during the investigation, providing photographic evidence that showed no damage was caused. Her account was clear and precise, leaving no room for doubt. Next came Frank Woods, a senior investigator with years of experience. Frank affirmed Aaron's professionalism and revealed a critical detail. Mr. Carlson, the complainant, wasn't even present on the property when the investigation took place. The courtroom murmured as the weight of the evidence mounted. Then it was Mr. Carlson's turn to testify. Under questioning, his confidence faltered. He admitted he hadn't witnessed any damage firsthand, instead relying on secondhand information from his assistant. This shaky testimony undermined his claims, and the truth of Aaron's innocence became undeniable to everyone in the room. As the evidence continued to mount, Judge Mayfield struggled to maintain her authority. Her stern expression began to crack, her earlier confidence waning with each piece of testimony that dismantled her assumptions. The witnesses' accounts were compelling, and Mr. Carlson's shaky testimony only deepened her discomfort. She hesitated, clearly torn between admitting her mistake and holding on to her original judgment. Finally, with a tense sigh, she addressed the courtroom. "I have heard enough," she declared, her voice firm but betraying a hint of unease. "Based on the evidence and testimonies provided, the case against you lacks sufficient grounds. The charges are dismissed." Though she freed Aaron, The discomfort on her face was palpable. She had been proven wrong, and acknowledging it wasn't easy. The courtroom fell silent as Judge Mayfield cleared her throat, unwilling to fully show how deeply the truth had shaken her initial conviction. As the charges were dismissed, Aaron's attorney made a bold request. "Your Honor, given the nature of this case, we request that Mr. Carlson be investigated for making false claims without substantial evidence." The room fell silent as Judge Mayfield, clearly caught off guard, paused for a moment. She glanced at Mr. Carlson, who was visibly uncomfortable. Finally, she spoke, her voice steady but carrying a weight of authority. "I agree," she said. "In this courtroom, evidence is paramount. Accusing someone without proof is a serious matter, and Mr. Carlson's actions warrant further investigation." The tables had turned. Mr. Carlson, who had once stood with conviction, now faced the very scrutiny he had tried to impose on Aaron. The courtroom buzzed with anticipation as Mr. Carlson shifted nervously in his seat, realizing the consequences of his false accusations. With the courtroom on edge, Judge Mayfield addressed Mr. Carlson one final time. "Mr. Carlson," she began, her tone firm, "in light of the evidence and your false claims, I will be filing a recommendation to the district attorney's office for further investigation into your actions." She paused before continuing. "Additionally, you will be responsible for covering Mr. Blake's legal fees, as your baseless accusations have wasted both the court's time and his resources." The gravity of the situation hung in the air as Mr. Carlson's face drained of color. Meanwhile, Aaron, who had endured the ordeal with remarkable calm, sat quietly, his respect for the legal process and his integrity never in question. As the case was finally adjourned, Aaron's dignified composure served as a quiet testament to the power of truth, even when the odds were stacked against him. As Aaron exited the courtroom, the hustle and bustle of reporters quickly surrounded him, eager for a comment on the unexpected turn of events. One reporter called out, "Mr. Blake, do you have any thoughts on the judge's decision?" Aaron paused for a moment, looking over the gathered crowd, and then simply responded, "Justice was served." Sometimes the truth needs only a little light to shine through. His calm words resonated in the charged atmosphere as he walked away from the scene, his dignity and integrity intact. The morale of the story was clear. Truth, when backed by preparation and evidence, can overcome even the strongest biases and assumptions. Aaron's unwavering composure and the courtroom's eventual clarity demonstrated that no matter the obstacles, justice would ultimately prevail. This story reminds us that justice prevails when we stand firm in truth, even when faced with bias and assumptions. Aaron Blake's unwavering belief in the process and the evidence ultimately led to a powerful lesson in integrity. If you enjoyed this story and the surprising turn of events, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more fascinating tales like this one. Make sure to turn on the notification bell so you never miss an upload. We're always bringing you stories that challenge your perspectives and inspire you. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.